Hey everyone, welcome to Throwing Rod's Garage. In this video, it's gonna be really fun. I got a neat little project. I've always wanted to tinker with one of these little rigs. So without further ado, here we go. (1997) Honda ACTY SDX 4x4 4-wheel drive. All time 4-wheel drive. But dude, this thing is so sweet. It's little bitty. I'll have to show you, the major horsepower underneath that panel. But dude, this thing is super clean. I mean, not clean as in needs washed. It does need washed, but it is very, very nice. It's got its own little rack on the back with a light. It is right-hand drive with the wobble stick. And it's only got, well, that's in kilometers. I'd have to do the math. But it does run, but iffy. So the person that I am working on it for, he said that they got it running, but it kind of sputters, falls on its face. Sometimes I fire it up and it runs great. So, I mean, it could need a carburetor clean. The fuel pump, a fuel filter could be clogged. The fuel pump seems like it's doing okay. It sounds like it anyhow. But I drove it in the shop. No big issues. It does smoke a little bit, but we'll go over everything. We'll check, make sure it's got plenty of good fire. It's getting fuel. And I'm definitely gonna do a compression test just to make sure, because it does sound like there's a cylinder dead. And he did say that they've already replaced the spark plugs. So who knows? All right, whenever he got here, it didn't have the bolts in the pan. I was really surprised it didn't fly out whenever he was coming this way. Oh yeah, 3 cylinders of fury. I don't remember. I think this might be the 650, 750 cc, 1000. I'll have to double check. But anyways, it is a 3-cylinder. Now you get to 1, 2, 3. Carburetor. And, oh. I was trying to figure out where to check the oil at, and my buddy, whenever he dropped it off, he says, this is where you fill the oil. I was like, okay. Right there. It's a 710 cap. Flip it over the other way, it says oil. But I looked all over, and I was like, man, where's the dipstick? Because there's the battery, there's the coolant reservoir, there's the spare, there's the radiator, and then, oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't have very good light. Right here is the dipstick. Might as well check the oil. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look, you can see the shininess go all the way up here. And boy, it stinks. It smells like fuel. So, part of the smoking, I'm pretty sure it's overfilled on oil. Not oil, fuel. Well, it's overfilled on everything. So I don't want to run it anymore. That oil's super thin. It smells like fuel, so I'm not gonna run it anymore because I don't want to wash out the bearings, because it was smoking quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the spark plugs, check them out, and I'm gonna go ahead and start draining the oil. I don't want to do anything further until all that's out. While it's draining the oil, we'll check the spark plugs, clean the carburetor, blah, blah, blah. Spark plugs seem fairly simple to replace. 1. 2. And 3. It's completely drenched. Looks like it tried firing, but with the crankcase being completely full of fuel, it's going up. It basically forces all the fuel and oil mixture up through the crankcase ventilation, PCV valve, and shove it down the intake, and just, I mean, completely goes all over. Number 2. Number 1. I did it backwards. Now that the spark plugs are out, let's go ahead and take a peek underneath here. There's the little oil pan. It's a 17 millimeter. Oil filter is the blue right there. I'm gonna go ahead and start draining this oil. It's on there pretty good. Now this is only supposed to hold like 3.3 or 3.4 quarts. So, ooh, let's see how way overfilled this is. Pull off that oil cap. Allow it to breathe a little better. Yeah, I can already tell you it is going to be way overfilled. See if I can break that oil filter loose without making a huge mess. Golly! The Hulk must have put this one on. Can I do it? I doubt it. Little spares under here, the radiator, heat shield force that radiator. All those things even got a little cover for the serpentine belt. That's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and lower this down a little bit because I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I have it jacked up quite a bit. So I want it to drain just a little bit more. Let's see if it makes a difference or not. Oh yeah. We gotta get all that nastiness out of there. Golly, that is so much fuel and oil in this thing. It's bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tools gathered up to get ready to pull off the carburetor, because I wanna make sure that that needle and seat are clean, there's no obstructions, any clogs, anything to keep it from flooding the cylinders up, because I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and that's why this crankcase is overfilled with fuel. So I'll be right back. Throttle cable's loose. We know that one will go there. You have to get those two coolant lines off. Basically, everything will just sit right in place again. Thankfully, there is a book with all of the information on vacuum lines, everything. So I am looking forward to that. It's nice having extra paperwork when it comes to these little key trucks, whatever they call them, because not having any extra information is rough. Not like we have an abundance of these little guys laying around. Sure hope there isn't another one back there on the other side. Okay, good. screwdriver for the breather. Get those two little guys out of the way. I can't believe this little thing is set up with AC. I think that is just too cool. Oh, oil's leaking some more. I am going to go ahead and break this cable loose. And it is of course, a 5-speed I showed earlier, but it does have a cable-driven clutch, and the clutch seems like it's just a little on the loose side as far as like releasing. So I'm going to readjust the cable for the clutch as well. I don't want to lose this little nut down here, and it's going to be fun putting on. Oh no. There we go. What all is attached? What all is everywhere? Good grief. Okay, that vacuum line is no bueno. I'm going to mark these two hoses. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. These two little hoses. They're the coolant hoses. So I'm going to mark probably this one. That way whenever I put it all back together, it's all, you know, where it should be. Now if I don't wipe it all off. Oh, here comes my wife and my daughter. They're probably gonna come by here making all kinds of weird noises. Oh, maybe these aren't. Told you. Maybe these aren't coolant lines. Maybe they're supposed to be vacuum. Yes! Maybe. No room for activities. Barely. I'm gonna put this side down. Don't mind the noise. Oh, that needs some lubrication. Oh, it's so close. I probably missed a few hoses. What's on the way? Clutch cable in the way? Nope, nope, we're getting somewhere. We're making progress. Progress? What'd I forget? Sensors? Yep. Oh, I mean, it's got a little plastic bowl. That's weird. Sits down in there. It's got vacuum lines. It's got a little screen up here. This thing is awesome. Well, would you look at that? Oh, you have to unbolt said little block thing. 2 8mm. Very carefully. That's one side. This side might be a different story. I might have to use a ratchet. Maybe. No. Off. Thank you. I sure hope there isn't another bolt on this thing. Yeah, he's got more sensors on it. 1, 2. It's Probably unnecessary sensors, but I'm not changing them. No wonder my buddy didn't want to do this. He's like, I don't know. Oh no, vacuum lens came off. Oh wait, that might work. As long as they're all semi-relatably. That one, that one, that one. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Now this is the main fuel line coming in, and I absolutely want to drain the tank. It smells awful. We'll find out here in a second, but carburetor's off. Whew, that was a chore. I'm gonna go ahead and put the drain plug back in, get the oil filter filled back up. Now, I did just go with some cheap 10W30 from Walmart, only because I'm going to be changing this again after we get it running halfway decent, because there was a lot of fuel and I want to make sure that there's absolutely no more fuel in the oil system. Also, on your old oil filter, make sure the old O-ring is still on the filter, not on the block. Always fill your filter if it sits upright or at an angle where you can at least hold a little bit of oil, that way it doesn't start dry. And number 3, always lube the oil ring and never over tighten the filter. Now, just for fun, I have an old empty oil jug here. You can hear there's nothing in it. I'm gonna go ahead and empty out the old gas, fuel gas into this container and see how much total was in there. Now, I only have one empty container, so I guess we'll see, and then we'll guesstimate on what's left. Still have a little bit more to go. Oh, I'm running out of room. So 5 quarts was about right here. So 6, and I have some left down here at the bottom. Boy, this stuff is awful thin. Sure hope it didn't tear up the bearings. So let's just say 6 in the, let's just say 6 quarts in a system that's supposed to hold 3.3, 3.4. Not good. Now with the carburetor out, right there, I'm gonna go ahead and hook up an extra line. Yeah, the barb was too big. I had to use what I had. And since the pan's empty, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key on, allow the electric fuel pump to empty out the fuel tank down in there so I can dispose of that and put fresh fuel back in it. So maybe that'll help it run a little bit better as well. I did put the spark plug wires back in place just to keep debris from getting in there. Well, I stand corrected. As it's pouring out, I'm gonna go ahead and add the oil in this neat little funnel. And while I was getting everything ready here, I went ahead and double checked to make sure I was putting the correct amount of oil in, and it actually calls for only 3 quarts, not 3.4, whatever I said earlier. So if they're only calling for 3 quarts, that means this thing was over double the amount of, well, gassy oil in the crankcase. And that poor little engine's crankcase pressure had to be through the roof. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the correct amount of oil, and then we'll start on the carburetor. Let's go ahead and start taking some stuff apart. And just look, we'll do one thing at a time. Since I've never been in one of these before. Oh, there's a spring on this one. Woo. My hands won't grip it. Okay. Maybe I can push it. Maybe it's probably held in by a clip or something inside. Who knows? I'm just winging it. As long as you put everything back together like it was at the beginning, it should be okay. May not be fixed, but it will be, it'll be different, I suppose. Okay, small spring. Might have to clean some of that up. This is held in by a vacuum. I can feel that. Oh yeah. Still fairly malleable, but it is dirty, so I'm going to clean that up. Some debris down here. That's part of the vacuum. Don't want to tear any of that apart. Okay, I'm gonna, I'll take off this big bowl first. See what we're getting ourselves into. Yeah. That looks rough. The best part is I don't have a kit for this, but I'm hoping that maybe if I just clean up everything, it'll be just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and put, you know, this little stuff back together. Possibly. Yes. No. Down here. Okay, so that will come out. It's just stuck in there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a pick because I want to get everything cleaned out as best as possible. Put that little guy back in there. I don't want to tear that little diaphragm up in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this little piece back together. I don't want to tear up the diaphragm that's inside. Not until I can figure out if I can actually get a rebuild kit for this or not. Yeah, you would think my hands would be a lot cleaner for cleaning a carburetor, but this was the one part I was worried about. To see if the needle, come on, focus, would have any debris on it or not. They cleaned up some. There's a whole lot of nastiness on it. Come on. Now the jet and the venturi tube are definitely good and clean. So we should be good on that part. See if this little plastic, yay, that part does come off. Makes life a little easier. I'm going to check, there should be an O-ring on this guy. I'm going to see if possibly that is bad and allowing the fuel to go through into the cylinders and down through the rings and into the crankcase. That fuel is still going. I say it's probably going to be going for quite a while. guys on there. See, there's even a little bitty filter on this guy. That's cool. And it's corroded and nasty. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. All right, that is a whole lot better inside and out. There was actually debris in there where the needle sits, because that's the seat down in there, and the little bitty rubber, wherever it's at, sits all the way down in here and makes a seal. If there's any debris, it will not seal. Right, little bitty filter's all clean, ready to go back in. And there isn't an O-ring, but it does have an aluminum washer. Snug. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll try to shine some light in here. See all that little debris that's down in there? Sorry, that light might be a little bit too bright for the camera. But I'm gonna go ahead and spray it off of the freezer that I'm sitting on. Have it sitting on here. That way I don't peel the paint off. Way better. I'm just going to continue cleaning up everything, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Well, everyone, I hit a snag. Now, that little diaphragm down here at the bottom that I was worried about it being cracked, it doesn't hold a vacuum. You can hear it. So I had to order a kit. And it's coming from Japan. So it won't be here for another week and a half, which is a big bummer. I was really hoping to get this thing out of my shop because I have my engine hoist out front. So I could get, see if I can point at it, look at it, find it. I think it's behind over here, 350 in the 69 Chevy, because I want to finish that project. But you get little ones like this, that can be a little bit of a pain, but a whole lot of fun. So I will get back with you guys as soon as I get the kit, rebuild that the rest of the way, and go on from there. Well, everyone, it's been a few weeks, and trying to wait for these parts to come in for this poor little Honda key truck. So I got these parts in for it. These are actual Honda parts. They came from Japan. It took a while, but everything's here. This is the diaphragm that was leaking, supposedly. It's cracked. And this is the other little, assortment of O-rings and whatnot. So, as you can see, I got another truck back here I've been working on. And I'm going to go ahead and get this carburetor all tore apart again. Replace all that is here that I have that was available. The rest of the carburetor kit was, just astronomically expensive. And I really think all it needed was just that diaphragm on the bottom, because that's, a vacuum line runs right there. So it was just filling up the whole engine. Sorry, I'm a little nasally, been sick, but feeling better, but still got a head stuff going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and just time lapse this carburetor, because I know it's, boring and tedious, but I have to have it done. Now this diaphragm seems to be pretty good. It's still soft, there's no cracks, but I'm gonna replace that seal. Now these extra O-rings are for different models of these carburetors. But the main important thing was this diaphragm that's down here, so we won't have any more leaky fuel anywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting it put on the little Honda. This was kind of a pain, trying to get all these lines loose and where they're supposed to go. Without getting everything stuck. I do have carburetor bolted, intake side tightened. There are parts of the airbox that I had to break loose so I could move this boot out of the way. So I got to put that on. I'm not going to show you guys, it's really tedious, tight, and boring. All the vacuum lines are hooked up correctly. I figured out where that one went. Everything's set up. So another thing we have to do is we have to put the spark plugs back in. Now I was going to do a compression test, but he said it ran just fine. But just in case, I'm going to check this cylinder because it was sparking with the old plug, which of course I tried a different plug before, didn't work. But it was firing, but it was not running quite right. So I'm gonna grab a compression tester. I'm gonna feed it all the way down there and make sure that this cylinder is not gonna give us any issues. All right, see if you guys can see that or not. Sit up there. Sit, stay. All right. I hope you guys can see that. Woo! 240. If you guys can see that or not. 240 on that cylinder. That's quite impressive. All right. That was number 3. Let's check out number 2. Compression's definitely not an issue on that one. Good grief. Cylinder number 2. Fuel pump's working. Again, almost 240. This one's like a 230, I would say 235, 233. That's pretty impressive. Now each time I am opening the throttle, full throttle, so it can get all the air that it can get. Now number 1. This one's got a little bit less, but about 220. That is still some serious compression for this little engine. So I'm gonna slap some plugs in it, put the plug wires back on, and let's hope for the best and have it start. Now, I've already opened these boxes. I've already gapped each one of these plugs according to what this engine needs. Make quick work of this. I'm excited. I'm hoping that it being extremely overfilled on oil because of the fuel bleeding down and that diaphragm being cracked, not allowing it to run correctly, that is the reason why it wasn't running correctly. Now the poor battery on this thing is dead. I had to jump it. So as soon as we get it running, I'm gonna pull it over to my charger and let the battery charge for a while. I did use the battery that's on it to pump out all the fuel, so I know that used quite a bit of the voltage on it. So, without further ado, let's hope it starts. I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up with fuel, finish up with the air box, and then I'll set you guys up to see if it starts. There we go. It is gonna smoke a little bit. It did have quite a bit of oil go down the cylinder. Dude, this thing sounds good. You guys fell on it, sorry. He is a smoker. But like I said, it did have 6.5 quarts worth of oil and fuel in it. I mean, that's a lot. So I'm gonna let it start warming up. It did lose a little bit of coolant, so I am gonna have to let it do its thing, get warm. It does have a bleeder valve right there. That is for the coolant, so you can let some of the air out as it warms up. It's smoky in here. I'm getting ready to open up the other side of my shop, get the fan going through here, but I'm gonna idle it up a little. Wipe it off some. It's gonna take a little bit to get all that smoke out of here. Now it does have a vacuum, I guess like a throttle position sensor kind of a thing. It doesn't have a sensor. Okay. Guess it has to relearn because it wasn't running the best. So, hey, it runs a whole lot better before. It wouldn't even sit here and idle, is what the gentleman that owns it said. So, I'm gonna keep on it, let it warm up, and bleed it, and I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, everyone, it's another day. I got the other truck out. Feel bad, I was gonna record that one. Actually, I did start recording it, but I had issues with my SD card, so it formatted, lost all of that. Thank goodness I always swap SD cards between projects, so I didn't lose anything on this one. But I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up on a tripod, and I'm gonna see if this thing will start. You know, it is cold, so we'll see. All the room. She does idle up pretty high. That sounds like a CV axle. All the horse torques. This thing's fun. Up pretty speed demon. I'm in third. Now I'm in fourth and doing 25 kilometers. This is fun. Well, now that I'm back in the shop, I remembered I wanted to adjust the clutch cable just a little bit because it's like almost all the way out before it starts taking off. So I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit of adjustment because it feels like there's a lot of slack in there. So I'm hoping that maybe with adjusting some of that slack out, it might make the clutch a little bit better. Trial and error. Now we're down here at the clutch pedal, and as you can see, there's the adjustment. So it's kind of tight quarters in this little bitty cabin, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that down just enough to give me, you know, just a little bit more of throw for the clutch. All right, it's kind of hard to see. My light is not the best, I'm sorry. I adjusted the cable down about, 3/8 of an inch. So, let's see if it likes that a lot better. Oh yeah. Fires right up. Still idles a little high. There we go. That's pretty good there. I like that. Sweet. Well, all I gotta do is just wash the thing up for him, and he should be able to come get it. It's a fun little project. I like working on something that's unique, you know, something you don't see every day. Getting you guys wet. I'm gonna have to scrub on it a little bit. This mildew that's on here is pretty tough. So I'm gonna get on it. Cleans up pretty good. Well, everyone, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and get a hold of the owner and see what he wants to do about that CV axle. But the good thing is it runs, it drives, it stays running. So I guess we're gonna go on from there and see what he'd like to do about that CV axle. If nothing else, I know he wants to tinker with it and he's anxious to drive it. So again, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Please like and subscribe, it does help the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, let's go.